Day after day, the value of our dollar continues to fade away. We here at Shifting Paradigms recognize how this can impact creatives and youth in underserved communities. Follow us as we explore creative and innovative ways to invest back into yourself and your business. In the words of Ab-Soul, I remember when I couldn't spare a dime. The time is now for a shift in paradigms. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Shifting Paradigms. This is our first video and we thank you for making it here. Shifting Paradigms will be dedicated to creating content focused on exposing creatives and underserved youth to technology that can be utilized to extend their dollar and gain knowledge. The first technology we're going to explore is blockchain and the world of cryptocurrencies. Over the last 2 months, I've made considerable amount of money utilizing some of these tools, and I'd like to share them with my community. The first part of this 5-part series video will be utilized to get everybody onboarded and looking at what coins I'm currently invested in. From there, we'll take a deep dive into the technology and some of the projects that are out there going on right now. So without further ado, this video will be looking at the coins I'm currently invested in and their utility. With some of the crazy volatility over the last couple of weeks, it is important to remember that trading has considerable risk. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not one of them things. So make sure you proceed with caution. My focus here though, however, is to focus on the technology and not necessarily the markets. With that disclaimer out of the way, let's get started. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also hit the notification bell if you want to know when our next video drops. Okay, so the first coin we'll look at today is Bitcoin. So in order to understand Bitcoin some more, let's take a look at the history of money, right? History of money dates back to the bartering system when people would trade cows for maybe something like clothes, right? Then we moved on to gold or other metals, and then eventually, as countries got more involved in their currencies, it became more centralized, and then we had paper money, right? This paper money is known as fiat currency, and to this point, we're still leveraging fiat currency, even though a lot of our transactions are done digital. Now we are going into a world of cryptocurrency. So what's the difference, you ask? Well, the difference is rooted in the backing of our money. Our money is still backed by fiat centralized systems, right? So what does that mean? 1, it's centrally controlled. 2, quantity is not as limited as it was initially advertised or meant to be. So our current funds are inflationary by nature. And on top of that, our value is no longer insured or backed by anything. So enter cryptocurrencies, right, which they have different inherent properties, but since we're talking about Bitcoin, the point here is the retention of value. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins, no more, no less, and it will take until the year 2140 to mine all of those. So considering that limited supply keeps inflation away, and it allows Bitcoin to act as a great store of value. So as I was explaining, let's take a look at blockchain in the space of Bitcoin and why it's important. So as I was explaining earlier, there were forms of transacting value such as stones, right, which could be utilized to say that was $5, or even gold plates, right? And to today, what we have is fiat currencies, right? That transfers this value of $5. Another thing that we can transfer value today to is in checks, right? This says from person A to B. Problem with these forms of transfer values today is that here data can be altered, rocks can go missing or look differently, and money today is being reprinted constantly, right? So these are issues that exist today with these forms of currencies. With cryptocurrency, the amount, right, of a Bitcoin is immutable, meaning that it doesn't change. The transaction cannot be altered. In addition to that, the record of A to B cannot be altered, which, unlike this, can be changed. Next up is Ethereum. Ethereum is more than a form of currency. In fact, Ethereum is the highway of the blockchain technology on which different applications can be built. Considering something like the internet, right? What Ethereum plans to do is to open up the landscape for people to develop applications on the basis of what is known as smart contracts. Smart contracts we'll get into explain into another video, but in short, it's much like a vending machine. The machine today has a number of items, and each item is associated with a cost, right? $2 for this juice. This juice will always be $2 no matter what. If I put in $1.50, I will not be able to afford this juice. If I put in $2.50, I will get the juice and I'll get 50 cents change. So these are deterministic actions. If this, no juice. If this, juice plus change. If $2 straight up, right, then you get your juice. There's no discounts, there's no sales. It is what it is, $2 for the juice. Now, what's also ensured here by this is that you get the juice, because you have the juice, you see the juice, you get the juice, and you know that that's what you're paying for. With non-smart contract transactions like Bitcoin, it's dependent on person A and person B together ensuring that that is indeed what you paid for, like pizza being paid for 5 Bitcoin. With Ethereum, there's insurance that you actually are getting the juice that you paid for with the $2. Next up, we got Litecoin. In short, Litecoin is like the little brother of Bitcoin. It's peer-to-peer internet currency, like I said, like its big brother. But on top of that, the thing that it strives is its near zero cost and its fact that it's 2 times faster than Bitcoin. Next up, we have XRP. XRP, this is one of the dark horses that I'll touch on today. Currently, they're fighting a case with the SEC on the basis of how they conducted their initial offerings. What makes this, however, different from something like Bitcoin or Ethereum? Well, for one, XRP is said to be the transport gateway for centralized bank digital currencies that are going to come out in a few years from now, or maybe even next year, starting next year, right? For example, the Chinese digital yuan, which is scheduled to come out in February of 2022. So XRP is going to play a great lane here. However, they must overcome current court cases. Now, the issue with the court case was that how they released the cryptocurrencies, and I'm going to get into that more when I talk about ICOs. But for right now, it's important to understand that if XRP does overcome their court case, this could be one of the most important coins to watch. Next on the list, Cardano. Cardano is one of the newer generation projects which seek to solve some of the limitations of its predecessors, leveraging a more sustainable consensus protocol known as proof of stake instead of proof of work. Cardano seeks to eliminate reliance on stuff like gas fees, which is part of Ethereum's network, as well as Cardano will be introducing smart contracts and enabling transactional financial metadata. This is important because let's take a look at this drawing. Transactional metadata. What is that? Metadata is data that describes data. In human terms, it's basically the adjectives that we associate with things that we can describe in society. So for example, if I see a person with a basketball jersey on, right? And they're pulling up to a rich hotel, they could probably be an NBA star, right? These things here, the jersey, rich hotel, I am associating to NBA star. Now it could also be a movie star, but with the data that I have so far, my mind is going towards NBA star. So these associations allow us to describe people, and in the world of computers, these associations can allow us to describe data. So for example, if I buy this thing at Amazon, right, I could say that how often do you shop here? How often do you buy this product? Right? And how old are you? Right? These associations could lead to describe a persona and allows marketing to be done against this persona. So this capability, right, transactional metadata, is what empowers that. And that's what's going to be in Cardano's smart contracts. Next up, Polkadot. Polkadot is another project looking to increase scalability on the blockchain. With their envision on setting the foundation for a new World Wide Web, Polkadot is enabling technical features that would allow for minimizing centralized parties to entrust personal data. This is one of the benefits of blockchain technology, which I spoke about on my previous lecture at Georgia Southern University. You can check it out around here on the screen or in the description. Another goal of Polkadots is to enable interoperability. That's basically blockchain to blockchain communication. This is important for scenarios such as integrating data from one blockchain network to another blockchain network, much like a Chainlink, which is the next project on the list. Chainlink. Inability to make decisions based on a collection of real-world data is still a limitation in blockchain today. Chainlink, as described in this drawing here. Today, Uber, right? Many of us ride Uber from point A to B, right? And it has the ability to tell us the arrival time, right? 35 minutes. Now, how is it able to do this? Uber utilizes external APIs from Google to determine traffic information, right? So with that traffic information, it can calculate arrival time. This functionality on the blockchain requires external data and can be facilitated by Chainlink. Hence the importance in this space. So yeah, in order to have a better decentralized network where blockchain technology can actually support more real-world cases, the need for Chainlink is absolutely impertinent. Next on the list is Filecoin. This is another project that serves to extend the data capabilities of blockchain technology. Today, there's still more area to grow in this world of cloud storage on blockchain, and Filecoin hopes to be an important player in that space. Next two projects that I'm invested in are actually built on the Ethereum blockchain network. The first one here, Uniswap, serves as a real-world use case for how trading can be facilitated on a decentralized network. Utilizing smart contracts, automated market makers can be stood up in place of traditional centralized exchanges to help facilitate financial liquidity. This is important for considering a network of Ethereum-based cryptocurrencies, how we can introduce a playground for them to be swapped amongst other currencies without relying on the usage of centralized exchange for obtaining these cryptocurrencies. The next project that I mentioned, which is also a Ethereum-based application, is Aave. Aave is a peer-to-peer lending platform, which is much like some of the applications that have grown popular today, like LendingTree or Credible. Utilizing Aave, users can build their investments while acting as arbitrageurs for loans for other individuals. So for example, you can earn interest in the form of crypto while your crypto is being lent out. In addition, this can be utilized as a savings account when you attach it to something like a stable coin, which can make you more money over time than the banks are currently giving out today. Stepping into the world of gaming, Engine Coin is next on the list. One of the multiple use capabilities of blockchain technology is tokenization and gamification of currency and asset management. Interestingly enough, this is already a proponent of the gaming industry, which people are already used to spending in-game currencies today. The ERC 1155 protocol, which is something that we'll talk about later when we look at more smart contracts on the Ethereum network, this is one that allows for semi-fungibility, which extends the use of NFTs past singular or unique items. And NFTs are something that we'll talk about in another video as well. So imagine in gaming having a limited set of weapons that can be found in game and then purchased or traded or loaned out. This type of complexities can be built against the ERC 1155 token, which is utilized by Engine Coin, which is why I am invested in it. Next up, Polygon. Similar to some of the other projects reviewed earlier, Polygon seeks to address some of the scalability issues on the Ethereum blockchain. The Matic Layer 2 network accommodates faster and less expensive transactions. Using Matic in some previous transactions before that I tested out, I was able to experience the use of this, and I will have videos to highlight how Polygon, aka Matic, can be utilized for more inexpensive and faster transactions. So on the list is Stellar XLM. Stellar XLM, similar to XRP, could be important for central banks and cross-country transactions. The only difference here is that they're currently not in a case for the SEC. So to not put all my eggs in one basket, I've also invested some in Stellar. Next on the list, Terra Luna. For this one, we'll hand over to South Korea, right, where compared to other first world countries, they are already ahead on adoption of utilizing cryptocurrencies as actual payment in everyday retail scenarios. Considering the popularity of gaming in Korea, this makes sense. So Luna Terra is the native token for the Terra blockchain network and actually has already made a number of considerable considerations to being the backbone of some of the most popular stablecoins today that can also be utilized on the Anchor Savings Protocol to earn more interest and liquidity. This I will also be doing a demo of in a future video. Next on the list, Solana, another project that is dedicated to addressing the scalability of the blockchain network. Payment transactions are an important adoption point for blockchain technology. However, today payment networks are operating at 2K like Visa, compared to blockchain networks like Ethereum and Bitcoin, which are operating anywhere from 3 to 15 transactions per second. This is slow compared to today's, hence why we need a player like Solana, which will promise up to 50k transactions per second. Lastly on this list is Internet Computer, a recent newcomer which is looking to address what? Can you guess it? Yes, scalability limitations of the blockchain network. Interoperability is also a major proponent of the Internet Computer Protocol, in which it seeks to take existing programming mechanics and allow it to be coupled with smart contracts, and much like the internet architecture today. It will be important to see what ICP can do in this space, and it's something to look forward to. Oh yeah, Dogecoin. This is a dark horse bonus that I forgot to mention earlier. It actually has maintained a strong position throughout the release of meme coins since its release 5 years ago, right? It's actually also faster than Bitcoin at 30 transactions per second and has a more simple interface for transacting value. So, though it actually has no purpose for blockchain technology, it's actually gained a number of supporters like Mark Cuban and Elon Musk. So something like this, which started from a joke and is still around today, it actually may be worth seeing where it ends up. So I have a couple of Dogecoins, but nothing major. For our list, you don't have to stock up on all of these coins, but just know that this serves as a basis or springboard for your own research. Make sure you go out there and read up on all of these and decide which ones are an important investment for you. This is part 1, and be on the lookout for part 2 of these series on how we go into purchasing cryptos. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.